Hey YouTube, YCS here. Just here with the deck profile for Nuggetshoopster's channel. He is currently on vacation out of the country actually, so he asked me to upload a couple videos for him while he's gone to his channel. So first off, he asked me to give shoutouts to two people. I'll put links or annotations probably in the corners or whatever, to MC Hammer and Dr. Drew. Both are people that go to our locals, and they're both friends. And Dr. Drew's channel actually has a lot of funny videos and insightful videos too. If you check out those channels and subscribe to them, I'm sure you'd appreciate that. But we'll get on to the deck list. This is water synchro. It's something that you should be preparing for if you're going to Rhode Island this coming weekend. You might not face this exact build, but there are decks floating around there like this, so just be aware of it and know what it does so that you can be fully prepared. So here we'll start with the video. The deck list runs the Undyne engine, obviously. This guy, you summon him, you can send a water monster, you can send a water monster to the graveyard to add a Gen X controller to the hand. It's a good card just because you can, it fills the hand again with the controller, and it's a purpose. It dumps a water for you. Obviously it's water synchro, so you're gonna dump pretty much only two monsters, but those two monsters are pretty much the engine. So we got two Treeborn Frogs. Treeborn Frog always been good in Frog Monarchs and Fish, and just constant stuff, you know. You can synchro with it and enemy controller it, take their monsters and stuff. So this card is the main point. This is pretty much the main engine of the deck, really. And it's one swap frog, one fishboard blaster. I'm really only testing one right now. It's been testing good at one, so until I really need it, I probably wouldn't add another one. But this is the card that if they drop it against you, you know, you might want to chain disappearance that guy, just because a lot of decks are only playing one that I've seen so far. Two swap proc standard. It's really hard to find room for a third one. I'm actually not even sure you even need more than one, to be honest, because you're always going to draw this, in my opinion, pretty early in the game. I've been drawing it like crazy, so I don't really need it. That's enough with the frog engine. Well, next we'll go to double Caius. Caius is the best monarch in the game, obviously. You gotta run it in threes, especially with frogs. But, you know, it's got good outs to Shin and Shooting Star, and it opens up plays to drop Dark End. A lot of people aren't really playing Dark End at the moment, which I mean, I can see why, but I think the card's really good, so it'd be worth testing. This deck, at least until Librarian comes out, this deck probably should run Librarian too, or all decks should run Librarian. But next, this build is the one I'm testing, so I only ran 3 Caius. I don't really think you need more than Monarchs for that. It's not the purpose of the deck. The purpose of the deck is to synchro and not have a Monarch chain. 3 Tengu. If you can spam tuners, you can spam synchros, and that's why that card is broken. It's like you almost always win if you can drop more than 2 or 3 synchros, just because you're going to create so much field advantage without losing anything really from the hand. Next we'll go on to the plant engine. Standard plant stuff. You gotta run it. I mean, even though the Colossal Army Armor thing doesn't work anymore, it's still good because you can supply yourself with tokens and basically tuners that can come back, and you can create 2 synchros out of both of those. A lot of plays are, you know, have a Tengu, Lone Fire into Spore. You can go Catastor, remove, go into Stardust, and then still have your other Tengu, and then you got 3 monsters. All you did is waste essentially 2 cards from your hand. It's really good. And with the fish, or with the Treeborn, you're probably gonna have the Fishborg engraved too, so you can always go off of that with formulas and stuff. Next we'll go to Mystic Tomato. I'm testing Tomato just because I'm playing. I mean, this is kind of why. I mean, I'm getting the Sangian Alpha that, and I really don't have a problem. I mean, I'd probably change it to a Veiler. At the moment, I'm not main decking Veilers, which I probably should. But for now, I'm just testing this as what it is, just because you kind of need to get to your synchros, or I mean, to your tuners quicker, or you can always drop one of these guys. With the Fishborg and that, it's an automatic formula, and you can actually pitch this to bring back Fishborg and then go into an 8-star, opposed to having to tribute a Caius or whatever. You can just save the Caius until you actually really need it, and that's why you can play that card. You can also side deck Super Poly and go into Absolute Zero with this deck, which isn't a bad play at all. You can even go into Shining, but I don't think it's really needed. Zero is probably the only one you'd main or play in this deck. Next is 1 Gors, 1 Tragodia. Standard for frogs, really. This card's kind of underestimated. Not a lot of decks are playing it, but no, I guess not really any decks really need it that bad either. It's just good in this deck because you can copy levels and bring out different levels of synchros and stuff. And you keep a good, consistent draw advantage in this deck, so he's always going to be pretty big unless you desperation drop it. But in testing it, I've had it always consistently being dropped at a pretty big attack and just getting over stuff. This deck's not main decking Battle Faders. Again, like, it's not, the purpose of this deck is not to tribute stuff for Monarchs, so there's no Lads, no Rises, or Battle Faders in this. At the moment, I'm currently citing some Frog Monarch stuff just to improve matchups and stuff. Next is Plague, again, like Spore and Glow Up Bulb. It's a tuner that can be brought back, or at least used twice, and comboed with Tengu. I mean, that's really all you really need it for. It also works good for the malicious play, where, you know, if you draw multiple maliciouses, it's like the worst thing that happened to you. So you can always just like get Mystic Tomato out, go into you know, like a Plague, and then you can tribute your Treeborn Frog for malicious, synchro to 8, and then stack the other malicious, remove the other one, and go into another 8-star just to get it. And I mean, it's just combo related, but again, another useful tuner. And lastly, Sanguine, because essentially every monster in this, except for the Caiuses and Tengus and Gors and Tragodia, can be searched off of it. Next, we got triple enemy controller. Standard if you're running the Treeborn engine, just taking their monsters, making your own synchros, or you contribute for Caius. Underestimated card, really. 2 MSTs, 2 pots, just to keep the flow of the Tengus, and, you know, if you have to pop back your Monarchs and your formulas. I don't really think you need to test 3. It's gonna come dead to you a lot. I mean, the amount of draw you're gonna do in this deck, you're gonna hit 1 of them a game I've seen so far. Foolish, Monster Reborn, Trine, Dark Hole, 1-for-1, and Allure of Darkness. Basically all staple stuff in fish, or frogs. I'm playing the lore just because you're running. You're running all of these darks plus the 2 controllers and the 3 Kaiuses. So I mean, why not add more draw power to the deck? You start Gen X Undying, send a fish or Treeborn, get a controller. I mean, that's an automatic draw, and you're thinning your deck, so you're gonna get to your power cards faster. For the Synchro deck, we got Triple Formula Standard. This card really should have been limited or semi-limited at least. It's just too good, especially with Librarian. You're going to be drawing 2 cards with this deck if you can, and it's not hard to drop turn 1 Librarian in this deck at all. So I think when that card comes out, this deck's going to be a little bit better, I'd say. And then next, Shooting Star Dragon, Trishula. This card's really good. A lot of people who say you don't need it. Again, it's like it's essential to the Synchro deck now. If you can make 9 stars, you almost always need to play 1. I don't think you need to play 2 or 3, just because it's gonna go to 1 and everybody knows it. So, but like I said, this card's like really good. Even if you bottomless, then they can choose their targets for Trishula's effect and essentially losing 2 cards from the field, 1 from the hand and 1 from the grave. 1 Scrap Dragon, 1 Thought Ruler, 1 Stardust. This isn't really like a set in stone extra deck. It's just, this is more preparing for, like Rhode Islands or regionals. This is what the deck can make. It can go into Dark End if it wants to, with the Maliciouses and the Trigodia or the Gores and the Kaiuses. But these are just synchros that you should be preparing for at least. 1 Black Rose. This deck can go to Black Rose. It's not as hard to go into Black Rose as Frog Monarchs are, because for Frog Monarchs you really can only go into it if you have the Fishborg and the Mobius, but by then you've already destroyed 2 cards, so there's no real point. Brionac, Gaia. This guy, ever since Goya left, it's been rough finding another 6-star to main deck, and I really actually just took out, in most decks I don't even play this guy, I just play the main deck Chimera Tech, but I mean, it's good. You can make it fairly easy in this deck. 1 Cataster and 2 Armor. This is essential just because if you start Gen X Undying and Treeborn in the hand, you can send the Fishborg, you can send the Fishborg to add the controller and then make an Army Arm turn 1, just so you're not sitting on such a small monster. But I mean, you don't have to. This can make Colossal, but like I said, the Colossal Army Arm thing doesn't work, so a lot of decks aren't actually going to play Colossal. That's really it. The side, it's not really built. I'm just testing this out. I'm not even sure if how much I like the deck, but it's been testing really well. I've always liked Frog Monarchs, but I mean, this one for now, I mean, it's just got so many plays with the Maliciouses and just the standard Frog Monarch play with Caius. But thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to check out Dr. Drew and MC Hammer, and I'm going to be trying to upload at least 2 or 3 more videos until Nuggetshoopster comes back, so be on the lookout for those. If you guys have any questions about the deck, feel free to comment in the comment section down below, and yep, thanks for watching.